Wow. So I recorded a whole lesson of math, and it ended up being like an half hour of video, because right after I started it, all of a sudden it went real slow. I must have hit something that changed the speed of it. Holy free holy. So here it is. I'm already a half hour late, and we're redoing a video. My favorite thing. Not. Okay, for this math lesson, we have this worksheet right here where it says for you to get some clay and make a small cup. Now I can't give you any clay. If you have some clay, you can go and get some little Play-Doh, make a little cup. And what you want is a cup that will hold just enough milk for a little kitten to drink. So, and then what I want you to do is draw a picture of that cup. Now, if you don't have any clay, that's okay. Just draw a picture of a little kitten. And I'll pause the video here. And this is where it went real slow, so I'll try not to hit anything. And I'll see you in a second. Pause the video. That's probably what I did. I touched something. Who knows? Okay, you're back. So here's the picture you draw. Now, you didn't draw something very big, did you? Something small, because a kitten does not drink a whole lot of milk. I can fit a kitten in my hand. So the cup that you drew is probably pretty small, right? Okay, I'm going to tip you up. You're going to see the top of my head. I want you to be able to see our material for today. This is very interesting. Okay, I got some cups here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put some wheat into the cups. I'm going to choose this one first. Let's start with that one. And here's what I got here. Got some kind of cracked wheat, something, I don't know. Mrs. Burnett can probably tell you what it is. Anyway, I am going to put this wheat into the cup. Now, what we want to do is we want to fill it up until it is full. So I'm just going to keep making scoops and fill this up to the top. Hopefully you can see kind of through the sides there as it fills up more and more. Yep, it's just making a big mess now. Okay, we're getting close. All right, maybe one more. There we go. Okay, so I have filled this cup up and spilled a whole bunch that I'm going to just kind of clean up here because I hate to have a mess. I'll just pour that in too. Now this cup is full, right? It's full up to the top. We say that this is the capacity. When something is full, it's reached its capacity. So that's what we call this, and what we're going to be working with today is capacity. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is let's fill up some other cups and let's compare the capacities. Let's start with this cup right here. Now, what do you think for our capacity of comparing these two cups? Does this hold more than this cup, or does this hold less than this cup? Let's find out. How can we find out? Well, the easiest way would be for me just to pour this into here, and let's see what happens. Aha! Notice that this cup is not full. It has not reached the capacity. So this cup holds more than this cup. And that's kind of obvious. The cup is taller. The opening is bigger, and so this would, you would expect, have a bigger capacity. Let's pour it back in here, and let's get a different cup. Okay. Now, let's get this cup right here. What do you think about these two cups? They are about the same size. This one, I don't know if you can see, this one is just a little bit taller than this one. Is this one hold more than this one, or does this one hold more than this one? Which one holds less? Let's find out. Pour this in. And what do we see? Well, this cup holds about the same. So these two cups have about the same capacity, right? Okay. Okay? Now, let's get this little guy right here. What do you think about this guy's capacity? This one's shorter than this one. This one's taller. Does this one hold about the same? Does it hold more or does it hold less? Let's find out by pouring it in. Here we go. Okay, I'm filling it up and just about full. There we go. Oh, look what happened. I still have some of the wheat in here, so this one is full, but this one still has more. So this has a smaller capacity. It holds less. This cup holds more than this one. Okay? Now, let's pour both of these back into this one, because what I want to do is I want to fill this one up. So let's bring the wheat back up here, and let's start putting more scoops into this cup. I think my hand's covering up so you can't see very well. I am putting a lot of wheat into this cup to fill it up to the top. Almost there. Maybe I can get one more in. There we go. This cup is now full. Okay. Now you notice that I have just a couple more containers that we haven't compared yet. Let's get this purple one out. What do you think? Does this one hold more than this one, or does this one hold more? Which one holds less? This one is obviously taller than this bowl. This cup is much taller than this bowl, but the opening is much smaller. So what do you think? Is this one going to be about the same? Does this hold more, or does this hold less? Well, the only way to find out is for me to pour it in there. Here we go. Oop! Look what happened. This bowl is not full yet. I could put more wheat into this bowl, so the capacity of this bowl is bigger than the capacity of this cup. That's interesting. Now I have one more container here. What do you think about this one? This is a very small container, isn't it? If I were to take my spoon and try and fill this guy up, it fills up even before I pour all of the wheat from the spoon in there. So it has a very small capacity. This is actually a lid for a glue stick. That's very small. All right, well, I'm not going to get that phone. We're just going to ignore it because I can't pause. All right, now what I want to do now is I want to put these containers into order from the lowest, the smallest capacity to the biggest capacity. So let's start. Which one do you think holds the less? Obviously, this guy was the smallest. So we'll put this one right here. Let's move everything back. Okay, now which one had the next smallest capacity? This cup right here had the next smallest capacity. Now which one? Well, these two were the same, weren't they? So I'm going to put those two together. And then I've got one more, this cup right here. And then last but not least, the bowl will hold the most. So here's my order from smallest capacity to the biggest capacity. Now we got one more activity I want to do. I want to count how many scoops fill up this bowl right here. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14, huh? That is full. That is the top of that capacity. 14 spoonfuls to fill this cup up. Now, let's do something interesting and do a little bit of thinking here. Here I've got another spoon. Let's compare these two spoons. Do you see that this one is bigger than this one? This has a bigger capacity than this spoon. Now, if I were to count how many scoops to fill this cup with this spoon, would it be more scoops or less scoops? Now, that is an interesting question. Think about it. Is it going to take more scoops to fill this one up because it's bigger, or will it take less scoops? Let's find out. Empty it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is full. 9 scoops. So with the bigger scoop, it held less. It held the same amount. It took less scoops. It only took 9 scoops as opposed to 14 scoops with the smaller ones. So more scoops to fill up the capacity, which is an interesting little experiment there. All right, let's go back this way, tip you back up again, and let's take a look at this worksheet here that you're going to do. This is a bit of a different worksheet. You are going to need to go get someone in your family to sit down with you and talk about the pictures on this paper. This isn't a marking paper. You don't have to mark anything on it. I just want you to look in each box and talk about the 2 containers that are in the box and talk about capacity. Which one do you think holds more? Which one do you think holds less? Or do they hold about the same amount, like the 2 cups that we did? Now, since you're not marking anything, what I want you to do is I want you to have the person that you talk to write their name somewhere on this paper, so I know that you did the paper and that you did it with someone. Which means that you can get your 2-year-old brother to do this worksheet, because he can't write his name. It has to probably be someone that's older than you to be able to do this worksheet and talk about capacity with you, okay? And then you'll be done with this. Don't forget to take these worksheets and all this packet, get it into your docket so you can bring it to school on Monday, just like we've been doing. And that's the end of our lesson for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have some recess outside. I think it's a little bit chilly, but I know it's sunny, S-U-N-N-Y. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye, pizza pie.